Welcome. In this class, we're going to talk about the 60 model, and I'm going to explain to you the assignment that I expect you to prepare before the next session live together with me. So in this case, we place the content next to the Module 1 Scenario Disruption Part 3. We're about to end the first part. And so this model, the 60 model that we have already started seeing, it's something that somehow helps us to wrap up the entire way to read the disruption. In fact, in terms of learning objectives, we expect the student to learn how to apply the 60 model and all these dimensions which allow him to read the disruption. And finally, as an objective, the student will conduct the assignment to prepare for the next live session. So let's look into the chain reaction of technology progression. As we have seen, this framework that already has been explained is a multifaceted and progressive type of approach to disruption, which is developed through different 6 stages. It explains how technology starts from being something, let's say, of reach and of effort into something that becomes democratized and very well distributed and spread. So what is the purpose of this model? The model that we're going to explain in detail, it is something useful for managers because it allows them to learn how to read the disruption by connecting the stages of technology which lead the disruption as an enabler to the different actors that are participating in every stage. So in particular terms, this will help to anticipate the behavior. So you learn how to read the disruption overall by connecting these dots. Evolution, so learning the different steps and what is happening in the different steps. Marketplace, meaning to associate the different authors, the different players per each stage into the model. Then it's about the dynamics. So we learn which are the dynamics of the different factors that are related to disruption per stage. And finally, we associate the different service dominant logic strategies into the different specific stages of disruption. As you will now probably getting revealed by connecting the dots, we're basically putting in practice what some of the articles you have already got into. So, as an example, if we look into the hospitality and travel industry digitization, like already explained in Tales from the Disruption World article, you can see that there is an evolution, a progressive evolution of new technologies and new business ideas that are contributing to making the disruption scenario more and more tech intense. So we start from the creation of the first aggregators, like in the case of Expedia or Booking, to open up to the reputation economy of TripAdvisor. Then it is the time of sharing economy in a peer-to-peer logic like the Airbnb story. Then we get into the case of new models like the hybrid model of Oyo, in which only some hotel rooms are really related to a different brand and in a sharing logic with a community that leverages this dynamics. And finally, the Doco de Modor, it's a virtual reality platform that allows live sessions when everybody is basically connected digitally, and so it allows basically digital traveling. Ultimately, what we see is that each of these elements is basically leveraging from the evolutions that have been distributed and created and diffused in the previous loop. So it's a constant evolution towards the center of the vortex. So for this reason, like we have previously seen, now we're going to look into the model, trying to connect the dots. The model refers to the 6 Ds. And so the 6 Ds are confirmed being the progressive logic. And in fact, each of the different stages now will be analyzed in depth, progressively, starting from digitized into the 6 towards democratization. And so we have a framework like this that involves the 3 different parts, macro parts, in which through simple keywords we'll be able to identify and study the state of the art. In the space related to market players, in fact, we want to create and to define who are the insurgents and the incumbents operating at this specific stage. And by doing this, we'll be able to make visible their presence, and that would benefit everyone for having an informed overview of the industry operators overall. In the second part, it's about disruption dynamics. We are exploring what are the main events or the main elements influencing in the space of technology evolution, budget allocation, and user behavior. Ultimately, we also look into which are the type of users that are influenced when it comes to user behavior analysis. Are we talking about innovators, early adopters, or other type of users that are involved? Most likely, you will be the first. And then finally, in the third stage, it's about strategies. And so here we are connecting the specific service dominant logic strategies that we have already seen in together next with the different specific stages. So the goal to do it is to have a general overview of the industry. There will be an overview with an in-depth part. That's why we recommend the students to participate into this analysis, to fill the model, working in groups and not alone, because by the discussion will help understanding and framing this better. And the way you normally compile this model is exactly from digitized in the full digitized vertical towards the others, because of the sense of progression that we should provide to the model. So this is an example of it, which comes from the company Airbnb in the case of the evolution of Airbnb through different stages, which is represented also and is referring to the case from the article Tales from the Disruption World. I will also leave this model in a PDF form in the LMS for you to check and to deepen in case you might want to. And finally, I want to leave you the specific briefing for the assignment. So, of course, as I said, you can work on the assignment alone or most likely with a couple of colleagues. You pick your team. So please keep focus on the same industry that you have already previously picked from the previous exercises, so you capitalize on the effort done previously. And the purpose is not to start from scratch, but to leverage on the already discovered and reflected knowledge. So let's start by picking the perspective of one company already identified. The purpose is to discuss the company, discuss its business offering, and to explore around it what are the details and operations. So given the fact that each stage it's very different from the other, that will require a lot of research, which you can do in sources that are like online available, for instance, like TechCrunch or others. The first step is to define at which stage of the disruption evolution this company is. You might find companies that are already leveraging democratization, or at least they are in the democratization, and some others that might be in earlier stages. Ideally, you are filling all the spots that are from digitized into the stage the company is. At the second layer, the question is define the company's role in the market. So is it an incumbent or an insurgent? When you do this job, you will also be able to identify who are other potential players' competition. So for instance, are there any other insurgent, or we only talk about incumbent, and so forth? To which category do they belong? Third, it's about the different disruption dynamics. What is happening in the various dimensions? And this is about what is happening in the three of the disruption dynamics, including also the type of users the company is referring to. And finally, I would like you to focus and define what is happening when it comes to service dominant logic strategies. So can we identify specific partners? Are we talking about co-creation? Are we talking about value in use? This is something also that it will be important to figure out. Okay. I look forward to see your work in this space. And of course, I want to discuss this in class with you, including all your doubts and questions you might have. As extra reference, you can refer to these two works from Diamandis and Kotler, or the video TED Talk from Peter Diamandis. I look forward to see you soon. Bye.